It's time for our energy update with Dan McTeague, president at Canadians for Affordable Energy. All yours, Dan.
Thank you very much for that, Teresa. And the world is really upside down these days. Yes, all of the problems, geopolitical and otherwise, are upsetting and concerning, as is the political situation in Canada. But I think nothing baffles more than what we're seeing from energy markets, and that's the trading off or the trading away of their positions. There's a rumor that was unsubstantiated that said that Saudi Arabia and others were going to walk away from their $100 oil target. Well, the fact is they never had such a target to begin with. This is a story written by, I think, Reuters or the Wall Street Journal, which had no basis in fact, and yet we saw markets trade off about $5 worth of oil prices. We were dropping from 71 bucks a barrel down to 67 bucks a barrel on Thursday. The problem with that is that it really speaks to what I've been talking about for some time. This is a very dysfunctional market. It's being driven by hedge funds that are liquidating and reducing positions in terms of oil. Even though its demand is going up and the supply is dropping, we're now seeing fundamentals and investments that are as low as they have been since 2011. That's a very dangerous position to be in because it means that markets and prices no longer reflect fundamentals like supply and demand. And doing that means that sooner or later, there's going to be a major correction. Who's responsible is very difficult to say, whether it's people, following AI or whether it's hedge funds playing this game to try to ensure stability before the election. The fact that it dropped $5 a barrel on this ridiculous, unsubstantiated rumor has a lot to do with what I think has happened, in that we've seen over the summer, these same hedge funds short the value of oil. They're trying to cover those shorts because as prices go up, they've wanted to go down. It's going in a very different direction. So they're doing everything they can using certain media to get their point across. It's, again, something to be truly concerned about because there's no rhyme or reason geopolitically. One would expect prices to go up. Fundamentally, supply and demand. Supply is low, demand is high. That would mean prices should move up. The fact that they're going down as by 3, 4, and 5, and 6% is a very dangerous omen for how prices are conducted. Nevertheless, Canada should see, despite a decrease of about 2 cents a liter, which should have been a 3-cent decrease, probably another 2-cent decrease this week on the gasoline side across the country, with diesel moving up about 4 cents a liter. Yes, we're starting to see colder weather, the effect of some of the storms in the United States. Francine a few weeks ago, Helene now, of course, which is affecting parts of southwestern United States, Florida in particular, and Georgia, all the way up to Virginia. That should have a bit of an effect on supply. Yes, some will say, well, the demand is reduced, but so too will be the impact, especially if there's any indication of flooding on the coastal gas line. That's an important line that runs from the big refineries in Houston and Texas all the way up to the U.S. Northeast, where a lot of demand takes place. The concern has to be that prices right now are extremely low, and anything, and I mean anything, could cause them to pop very quickly and radically. My belief is that knowing a little bit about the unknown, and that's really hard to determine, I don't think we're going to see much in the way of any major dramatic moves in energy prices, gasoline, diesel, or oil, until after November the 5th, the presidential election. Remember, hedge funds have, Goldman Sachs and others have been pretty clear. They want the Democrats in the United States reelected. They need that $1 trillion of grift that they can throw around. So they don't want Trump to win. They definitely want Kamala Harris to win. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they keep the price of energy down. The cynic in me says that that's not just a matter of policy that they're carrying out financially. It's also a matter of what I think we're going to see in the next couple of weeks. And that's quiet prices, followed very dramatically by increases in prices, especially on the diesel side after the first week of November. That means that British Columbia will stay in the $1.65 range, at least for Vancouver and Victoria. We're going to see the rest of BC stay at about the same level, maybe $1.68, $1.69. Some places are as low, like Kelowna and Kamloops, is $1.59. That's going to remain the same. Alberta could see a 2 or 3 cent increase, and that's because Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are really linked to the U.S. Midwest market, and the Midwest market is starting to show signs of life. We've seen the price of gasoline move up from about $1.95 to $2.17 as a result of some disruptions in some of the refineries down there. And so we're going to see some increases, maybe 4 cents a liter. Same for Ontario. if everything works out well, increase of 4 cents for Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes. And that's it really for this week. Very confusing time in terms of energy markets. Hard to decipher where the interests are, but let's say, put it this way, a lot of politics involved in the price of oil these days.